And also we have academia have to play the role while they are producing the graduates. Okay, so continuing with it, suicide continued to trend down, decreasing from 236 to 59. So it decreased in 8.9. Okay, due to workplace pressure, stress, people do commit suicide. It's another figure over there, which has not been considered in our part of world. Worker in transportation and material supply chain, occupation experienced high 1,523 fatal work injuries in 2021, represent occupational group with highest number of fatalities, increases 18.8%. Transportation incident remained the most frequent type of fatal event in 2021 with 1,900. Okay, people say, what about the transportation? We do not put emphasis in our world, our country on transportation. But if you would see that, if you take the data from port and the warehouses, the major accident happened over there in our country too. This major category accounted for 38.2% of all work-related fatalities. This transportation and supply chain management, whatever you say. Okay, now we are coming to the data of the United Kingdom and reported by the Health and Safety Executive, which published the annual statistics. Statistics include 1.7 million working people suffering from work-related illnesses, 1.17 million workplaces due to the exposure at the workplace. Okay. By not wearing the PPE, not following the restrictions, or we are not mitigating the effects. 822,000 workers suffering work-related stress, depression, and anxiety. 470 workers suffering from the work-related muscular disorder. That is physical movement and very important nowadays. Even our office workers do get that one, that injuries. 93,000 workers suffering from COVID-19, which believe have been exposure to the coronavirus at the work. Well, I myself got the COVID, very severe COVID. I was hospitalized for almost a month, 8 days in the ICU and 21 days in recovery and 6 months at the home. It happened November 2020. Okay, 2,360 mesothelioma death due to the past asbestos exposure. Asbestos was used for insulation over there, and still most of the building they are having asbestos, and they are removing now. 441 working people sustained an injury at work according to labor force survey. Okay, 51,211 injuries employed reported under the radar. Radar is their reporting mechanism. Okay, I hope everybody is aware of what is the workplace hazards and that, but I'd like to go give you some little brief introduction about 4 major kind of hazards, which everyone faces every day, even in the home, at work, during commuting, transportation of goods, everything. So workplace hazard are major hazard is physical hazards. And it's very common, fall, trip, everything fall under this one. This is most common type of workplace hazard. This can be radiation, heat, cold stress, vibration hazard, noise hazard. So normally what we do it, we devise engineering control to mitigate physical hazards. Next one is very common, chemical. And nowadays, everywhere we are facing, like Bhopal, it was chemical, Chernobyl, it was radiation and chemical, and now Karachi, we have a couple of years ago, same thing problem at ports also. And now we are having once again same problem from chemicals. A chemical hazard, everybody knows, very dangerous. It can potentially cause physical health hazard to the people or result in harm to the environment also. And due to industrialization, we are facing these problems too. Because before the 17th century industrialization, world was better to live. I'm sorry to say that, but we are paying the cost of the rapid industrialization. It can also be defined as an actual risk associated with specific chemicals, such as skin burn, long-term negative impact on health, lasting environmental damage, fires, or even explosion. These are few workplace hazards under the chemicals. And another one is biological. Well, we are going through since last 3 years, biological hazards like COVID and others. Biological hazard, also known as a biohazard too, refer to the biological substance that pose a threat to the health or living organism, primarily that of humans, also animals too. We normally do not consider animals in that, but they are also got the exposure from the chemicals too and biological. This can include medical waste or sample of microorganisms, viruses, or toxins that can affect human life. These are all the biological sources. And if you visit a hospital, only a couple of hospitals I've seen, they have a proper method of collecting the biological waste, hospital waste, segregation at source, then disposal, right, incineration or other autoclaving methods which are suitable for that particular type of hazard. But majority of hospitals, especially government hospitals, they do not have this facility. Way back in 1992, I was associated, and I am still associated with PCSIR. We developed a device, rather re-engineered it, and we gave to JPMC in 1996. In 2007 or 8, government came with the idea to supply the all district headquarter hospital with incinerators, and this incinerator was given out almost 40 or plus or 48 hospitals throughout Pakistan. Unfortunately, they were not put into the operation by the management of those hospitals, and no accountability for that. Another very important hazard, workplace hazard, is ergonomic. Ergonomic has 3 different sub-clauses in that, and every occupation is either sitting on a computer, laptop, or we have physical lifting or something, driving the vehicles, driving the crane, driving the forklift. You also get this problem over there. So ergonomic hazards are a physical condition that may pose a risk of injury to your body. Ergonomic hazard includes awkward posture, static posture, high force, repetitive motion, short intervals between the activities, which are very common at workplaces. So this is a brief introduction. I believe everybody knows that. Just I will recap it so we can get a clear idea. So all this, what we have to do for engineering control and this. So these are hierarchy of the control. What we have to do first. Our top priority should be elimination. But in our country, our top priority is PPE. Okay, you have given the PPEs and say, okay, we have protected our worker. No, PPE is not a initial or final solution. PPE is just minimum. Basic thing we should start from, we should try to eliminate the hazard. But sometimes it is not possible to eliminate the hazard. So then what you have to do it? You have to replace it. You have to do some kind of substitution. Still it's not available, then third option is engineering control. Isolate from the people, barricade it, put the control, different type of, so which people can be safe from the occupational health risk and injury hazard too. So isolate it. And another thing is administrative control. Change the way people work means you have to put the sign, symbol, give the trainings, uh, conduct the awareness programs, reviews, like that. So this is the way. And least preferable is PPE, personal protective equipment. But in our country, hierarchy is totally different. We go for a PPE. Okay, if we have given a PPE, oh, it's fine. We have done our best job. No, it's not a best job. We have to go from elimination, substitution, engineering control, and control and PPEs. The least effective is PPEs. Most effective is elimination. So this is how we can control the hazards. Okay, ISO gave a first standard occupation health and safety in 2018. Khwaja Sahab and I was lucky to be part of the ISO committee through PSQCA, and it was my privilege, and I got the draft standard from that committee. And first time I had conducted a training or workshop in PCSAR in 2016 and 2017 in Islamabad for American Society of Safety Engineer or Nurse Professional. So Occupation Health and Safety Management System ISO 45001 2018 is upgraded version of 18001, which was British standard. And it's traditionally used a risk-based approach. Now, you can see this risk-based approach to evaluate and address the risk of harm. So, what is harm? Which can create injury and something like that. And in 2015, ISO revised standardization format, and they came up with a new format, which is called NXSL. The format for management of systems now require organization to also consider the risk that occupation health and safety management system itself may not be effective, and to look for opportunities for improvement. OHS management for opportunities for improvement. The requirement for the risks and opportunities in clause 6.1 have been adapted in ISO 45001 for both occupation health and safety hazard and for occupational health and safety management system itself. ISO 45001 uses the terms OHS risk and OHS opportunities. You have a risk and you have to take the risk opportunities when it is referring specifically to the control of the hazard. Risk and opportunities when referring to the occupation health and safety measure. So you have both your risk and what are opportunities are. So you have to consider that. It's a very tricky question and very lovely one to work on it out with a thorough reading, understanding the standard. Standard are basically guidelines. They give you a guideline how to do it. It's up to us to how to implement it, how to take the benefit of it. So risk-based thinking is one of the new introduction in the guidelines. Here I can show you the one of beautiful thing which we one of the management group Deming is giving us PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. Here you can see entire standard is in one diagram. इसे हम उर्दू में ये कह सकते हैं कि कूजे में बंद कर दिया. First three clauses are general, but actual standards start from clause 4, context of the organization, and that have two sub-clauses, internal and external issues, and need and expectation of interested parties. Both goes in here. You can see the clause 5, leadership and worker participation. One have to lead from the front, and you have to involve your worker. Without your workers' participation, one cannot implement or get the benefit, the result from the standard or guideline or SOPs. So you can see there, yeah, this clause 5 interact with everyone. Clause 6 planning, clause 7 8 support and operation, clause 9 performance evaluation, clause 10 improvement. PDCA, plan, do, check, act. What's mean? You plan, then you are planning to implement something for a control of hazard, and you plan it, then you do it, you actually implement it. After implementation, you check it, it's working or not, is you getting a desired result or not. Oh, if you are getting it, fine, or you want to further improvement, act it. If not, you are getting desired result over here, act for improvement, go again for plan, do, check, act, and a continual improvement cycle. So this is the one of the best thing we have ever got it from Deming, and the standard also give you a guideline how to move forward, how to progress well, how to create a safe workplace environment for all of us. Okay, so what are the most common health and safety issues? We have a few over there, hazard issue, and every business are familiar. It's a small business, 1-room operation, it's a 10-room operation, it's a multiple sites, multiple cities, multiple countries operation. Everybody feels similar. And these are temperature, working environment at the light, air conditioning, physical over there, harmful surrounding, and hazardous substance like asbestos. Workstation health and safety, where you are working, computer and other gadgets like and display screen. Manual handling, how you are handle the things. Okay, like lifting and something like that. Noise surrounding, there's a limit on the noise, 85 decibel for 8 hours. If it's a 95 decibel, then work this have to be cut to the 4 hours, and you have to give the gauges, okay, such as muffin and air, like that. And another thing, heavy machinery tools, which are like cranes, lifters, and these are things. It could be these hazard or something more specific to your company that create health and safety issues. They go unmanaged because every workplace have a different tools and gadgets, different operation, different system. So you have to be specific about your workplace, your organization, so on. See, most common dangers in workplace regarding this: slip, trip, and fall are 33%. Handling, lifting, and carrying 18%. Struck by moving object, moving truck, moving and you can say forklift or any other thing. So struck by the moving object. Violence at workplace, because now people have a less tolerance. So this is giving the rise to the violence and fall from the height. If you are not having a proper following SOPs, you are not wearing a harness, safety harness, and you do not have proper platform, you do not have a proper barricades. So these are most common things over there. So now we all are professional. Now it's our duty to help our fellow professionals, our workers, our students, everyone. So we should be working for that benefit of nation and our workers. So what are the benefit? If what will benefit? If we implement the health and safety procedures, policies, procedures, and implement it at workplace, what kind of benefit? Well, we do not have a stringent insurance law in Pakistan or other Asian countries, but in the developed countries in Asia, like Singapore and others, they do have. Australia, New Zealand, England, US, they all have, EU have. Over there, the cost of workplace injuries and illness to business is high because of insurance. They have to get the insurance. With sick days slowing down production. Okay, if your trained worker is sick and now you don't have a replacement. Why is sick? Because of workplace exposure. And once matter is reported to authorities, health and safety authorities, regulatory authorities, you have to be, they put you fine on you, and you have double loss. One is production loss, one is monetary loss. So cost of workplace injuries, illness to the business is high, with sick days slowing down the production and fines being distributed for poor health and safety process at workplace.